If you want to learn how to make this really unique and unusual bird cage, well, that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So, follow me. What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter. And if you know someone that likes to read or you like to read, you might want to make this really neat bird cage that I'm going to show you how to do. It's going to be a little bit of work on your thumbs and your arms and that, but it is really worth the effort in the end because it's a very unique and very beautiful kind of shabby chic, farmhousey, I don't know, kind of an everything kind of a piece, but it's really cute. So I would love to show it to you, but you know I would absolutely love even more if you would hit that subscribe button down below and join the Glue Dot family. Also, the bell next to it will inform you every time I upload a new video, so if you just click on that little bell as well, would be great. I love hearing from you guys. It is so much fun reading your comments, and I especially love hearing where everyone is from. I did put out a little thing a while back asking where everyone was from, and I'm sort of putting a map together to see where I have the most viewers from. So if you would do that, leave me a comment down below. Tell me where you're from. Maybe one of these days we'll do a meetup or something. It would be so fun. Anyway, let's see, did I hit it all? Oh, and one more thing, if you like my sweatshirt and other apparel that I have, you can see that by scrolling down a little bit below. There's some of them pictured. There's socks and mugs and all kinds of cute stuff, and some different sayings and designs too. But I don't want to forget, before one other thing, sorry, I got to give a shout out to my buddy Carmen. She was my 17,000th subscriber. I was trying so hard to get to 17,000, and Carmen is the one that was my 17,000th. So thank you, Miss Carmen. You rock, girl. And I think right now, we just need to do it. So getting started, the first thing you're going to want to do, picking the right book is what also helps. You're going to want to find something that is tall and narrow, whatever you can find out there. That you don't want to get a short and fat book. That's not very nice, but anyway, we want tall and skinny for this story of our lives, right? So what we're going to be doing first is removing entirely the cover. Yank that baby off of there. So you should have only soft pages. So you want to be left with all just the regular pages. What we're going to be doing to start is put the book facing binding towards you and fold the left-hand corner down at a 90 degree and smooth it out real nice. And then we're going to be taking the other section here and folding that down also to the binding. So this is what you have. You've got this corner getting folded down and this whole edge getting folded down. So you should have this shape. Now what we're going to do, it would be very boring for you to watch me do this, so I'm going to go through and do each page. Now keep going, we're going to be doing the whole book. So this might be something you could do while you sit and watch TV or something like that. Now the more pages you do, the harder it's going to be for you to get all the way into that edge. So you're going to really need to push down right at the edge here at that binding so that you can still get into where the seam is there. Otherwise it's not going to have a nice rounded center point. So you got to use a little bit of muscles in there and press it down as you go. Make sure your pages are in that crease, and as you go, keep pressing down so you can almost see that stitching in there of where the binding comes together. This book has 296 pages. I'm not sure if we're going to need that many or not, but I will keep you posted. So here you can see I'm trying to keep
this, I'm bending it back so that we can see the threads in there. So as you go along, it gets harder and harder, and you have to stop and really press that away so that you can still get into that seam. If you don't, you will not even realize it, but you'll be creeping your way further and further out, and you're going to end up with a lopsided birdcage. So every once in a while, just when you're folding these, you're going to have to stop and pick it up and really press so that you can see that seam again. So far I'm about 90 pages in, and it's pretty dense at this point. And if you wanted to kind of get an idea, it looks like we're just about, I think, halfway. So my guess is about 180 pages. Now you can see how the binding is starting to get a curve to it, and that's what we want. So also, the further you go in, as I said, you want to I keep telling you this because it's really important, but you want to really push up and make sure that that stitching is showing. And as you go along, also, you want to make sure that we're not leaving any space from the stitching. We're going all the way into that crease in the center. But you do have to continually, after 2-3 pages of folding, you do want to go in there and check again to make sure that you're not too far away from the stitching, and that you fold that binding back so it's starting to curve. Which what that's doing is forming this curve over here. So I'm at about 180 pages at this point, and I think I'm still needing more because there's a whole big area here that kind of needs filling in. So I'm going to continue on, and one of the nice things too is that you can use your sentences here to kind of see if you're straight or not. That one was just slightly off, but as long as you are generally close to being lined up straight, you should be just fine. Okay, I reached 200 and where did I end up? And I think that that should be more than enough. And what I'm going to do at this point is cut off the excess. I'm going to go in with an Exacto knife and try and cut that off without cutting my whole book apart. So try and get in there to the crease. Again, where we've been getting in before, where the stitching is, and I'm cutting away as close to that stitching as I possibly can, because I need to get through to the glue. So now we are left with this. What we're going to be doing is gluing our our start point and our end point. We're going to be gluing those together. I'm going to be using my hot glue. Play with it a little bit till you get the shape kind of spread out and get it a little bit evened out. And then we get to the fun part. So I've worked on getting my shape kind of a little bit better. Don't worry if there's some gaps here. I bought this ribbon at Dollar Tree, and you can use any ribbon you'd like for your project. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting our lace around, all the way around up here at the top, and then a row of it at the bottom. Now, the great thing about putting the lace on is as you glue it, you can space these out so that they're evened out. So right now you can see I have a bit of a gap here, but when I put my ribbon on, I will be able to glue it in such a way that I can place these so that there's no gap. So I'm going to go ahead and start. One other thing maybe before, if you'd like to have a handle on the top of your bird cage, now would be the time to put that in. So you would find a space, glue in part of it, and then make a little loop and then glue in. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have my little handle on there, and I'm going to go ahead and find wherever I want to start. Doesn't really matter. And we're going to be putting, the glue is going to be going just right here on the edge of the page, and then put a little bit of glue on the rest of the pages. Not every single page is going to need it, but because this is where I'm having issues of it spacing out, that's where I'm going to be actually placing the glue to help to hold these more evenly spaced. So the way I'm doing this right now is I am kind of spacing out my pages and then putting glue on my ribbon, but only maybe a small portion at a time, because you can't really get those pages in place and get them glued before your hot glue dries or cools off. And you're going to do this around the top and also around the bottom. So here's what we have so far. And I've gone around. If you're a perfectionist, this is going to drive you crazy, something like this, which I'm a perfectionist, it's driving me a bit crazy, but it's in the back, so it's okay. And we're going to go ahead now and take some of our other little embellishments. So I had the little pearls. If you don't have pearls, I think you can get pearls and stuff at, occasionally you can find them at Dollar Tree, and otherwise you could probably find them at Joann's or Michael's. And what I'm going to be doing is just kind of going around and embellishing my little bird cage here. I think I'm going to go ahead and put pearls around this on the lace, and then I'll be adding on my butterflies and flowers as well. These little pearls are self-adhesive, but I don't really trust the adhesion on them for something like this. So I'm going to use a little bit of my hot glue as well to kind of hold them so that they don't fall off. So here's what we're looking like with that done. What I'm going to do before I put my butterflies and my flowers on there, I had seen another idea of maybe making something that looked like a little door and putting a bird on it. So that's why I had the little printout of the bird. So in order to make the little door, it's very simple. We're not going to make a huge big effort on it. We're going to cut our piece of wire and make a curved shape like the door would be on a bird cage, something along that shape. So once I get that glued on there, I have this printout that I did from clipartpanda.com. My ink is running out on my printer, but I'm going to use this as a template to cut out a bird from some decorative paper. And I'll be gluing that on as well. So I'm going to get all my little embellishments glued on there, my flowers glued on there, and show you the finished project. If you're enjoying my videos, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you join the Glue Dot family. And also share this with your friends. This is an interesting project. It's a fun one, especially if you know someone who loves to read, although they may be upset that you did this to a book. Anyway, alrighty, I'm going to get working on this and I'll be right back. So I'm pretty much done decorating it. I wanted to just show you a little trick if you want to kind of add some dimension to, so like my bird, I'm going around the edges of the bird. And what I did is take my Sharpie and an old foam brush, one of these foam paintbrush thingies, and I just put in some, drawing it on the edge here. And then you just go against the edge of your paper. I really like how it really changes just the raw edge of the paper. And if you want to do that a little bit on your book, some of your book pages to make them look more rustic, that's another thing you can do. I'm going to do that because I think I really like it to have kind of an older look to it. So I'm going to show you this all done up, and I really hope you like this project. It was a fun one. It's not probably for the beginning crafter, but it's a great little project.